1 second. Just gotta make sure we're live. We gotta make sure we're live. Yeesh. 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 Hold on. Let's make sure we're live on the YouTubes. Hold on. Ah, yes, it's showing the notification. Let's see. Boom. Right there. Okay. Ooh. Let's make sure the audio works. Does the audio work on this bad boy right here? Hold on. Oh, I can't hear the audio. Hold on. Might be something on my... Make sure... Oh, excuse me. Whoop. Right there. Put that there. Because I can't hear it on here. Want to make sure. Hold on. Let me try my phone. Make sure it's... Make sure... Oh, excuse me. Whoop. Right there. All right. Perfect. All right, we are indeed live. We are indeed live. Perfect. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Let's make sure we're live on the X. Are we live on the X? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right. Perfect. All righty. All right. Hold on. There we go. Wow. Okay, there we go. That's that. That's it. 1 second. Let me get rid of that. Boom. Okay, good. Let's see if we're live on the Twitch. Are we live on the Twitch? All right. Give it a second to propagate. There we go. Let's make sure audio works. Good. All right. We're looking good. We're looking schmexy. Looking schmexy, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're doing today. We are looking schmexy. All righty. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's edit the little glitchy. Get rid of that old glitchy right there. All right. There we go. All right. So that's good. Perfect. All right. Yep. Description's all set up and fixed there. Yes. All right. Just getting everything shared up and ready to go. But how you guys doing today? Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday, a marvelous Monday, if you will. You know, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just getting everything all set up and shared and ready to go. 1 second. There we go. All right, let's get this over here. Bot right there. And bot right there. Okay, perfect. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Right, there we are. Perfect. Okay. Let me just get everything shared up over here. But yeah, hope you guys had a great weekend. What'd you guys get to do during this past weekend? Put it in the chat. I got to spend time with the family, got to spend time with my folks, friends, all that good stuff, man. I got to spend a lot of time with a lot of good people, you know. Was surrounded by the good folks, the good peeps, you know what I mean? All right. Boom. There we are. There we go. Okay. All right. There we are. Boom, right there. Boom, right there. All right. All right, there we go. Put that there. Share it up over here. Boom. All right, share it up over here. Right there. All right, beautiful. Let's get this over here. All right. All right. And then over here. Right over. Yeah, there we are. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Over here. Put this over. Yeah. Bop right there. All right, there we are. All right, let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, aka the Rainmaker, and I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Sometimes she likes to regular ski. Other times she likes to get shot at the cannon and she goes wee. Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go into the stonk market, and other times she likes to, of course, go into the stock market and find them ABCDs. And she did call some wonderful stocks like HXHX, AZI VMAR, and CMCT. We call her DBL Moms. Hey! All right, so that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So, before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, folks. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on for today. That is what we got going on for today. So, yeah. Hope you guys are doing well. And let's get this kicked off. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of stocks here. We called HXHX right over here. Hold on. Actually, whoop, right there. Let me get rid of that. Right there. Okay. We called HXHX. This stock ran up a nice 87% so far. 87%. Hold on, let me get a pen. There we go. There's a pen right there. 87% right there. 87%. All right. Wonderful stock. Went up 87% right there. 87%. So HXHX called it earlier this morning. Ran up a nice 87%. Called it for our private Discord early in the morning, and it ran up a nice 87%. AZI. Let's take a look over here. 1 second. There we go. Put that there. AZI. Ran up a nice 81%. Called that this morning for our private Discord as well. All right. And of course, we called VMAR, which ran up a nice 33% right there. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's what we got going on. So let's take a look at some other stonks over here. Let's take a look at some stonks right here. So let's take a look at HXHX. HXHX is the leading gainer as of now, up 82%, had a nice high of 87%. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines over here. I'm going to make these a bit thicker. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get these over here. Boom, right there. Make the font a little bit bigger. There we go. Awesome. That's good right there. That is good. That is good. That is good. All right. All right. All right. All right. So currently with HXHX, it did have a high of 66 cents. Had a high of 66 cents. Right now, it currently has to hold above the support line at 58 cents and break through 66 cents. It had a nice high of 87%. 87% right there. So that's what they got going on, folks. That is what they got going on right now. This stock was on a bit of an uptrend, so far. Had a nice little uptrend going on. Bop right here. Did a bit of an A, B, C, D into another smaller A, B, C, D, and then kind of just consolidated right around here. Make this yellow and make this a bit thicker, and also get the little arrowy thing out of there, and then we're good. Boom, right there. So, had a bit of an A, B, C, D right through here. Ended up making another smaller A, B, C, D, and then had a little bit of a pennant here. So right now, HXHX needs to break the pennant, needs to break this pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So HXHX needs to break the pennant right here for it to be so much schmexy to me. Let's take a look at AZI. AZI had a nice movement up earlier, ran up 81%, had a high right here. Boom. Created a bit of a descending wedge, was above the VWAP for a time, and then kind of fell below it just a little bit. Now needs to break this descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So AZI needs to break the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Let's take a look at CMCT. CMCT, that was a runner for quite some time as well. CMCT formed a bit more of a pennant right over here. A little bit of a pennant, bop and bop right here. Bit of a pennant going on right there. Also did have an A to B, B to C, C to D going on over there. So we had that going on. That's what we got going on for the stonk right here. Oopsie, I didn't need to do all that. Bop, right there. Okay, so CMCT needs to break the pennant for it to be so much schmexy to me. Was a bit below the VWAP before, kind of curled above it just a little bit. Needs to hold above the VWAP. CMCT needs to hold above the VWAP and break above the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right, so that's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on. Next up is SIDU. CDU. This SIDU seems to be moving. All right. Oh, Alex Martinez says CDU is taking off. Yes, sir. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. So let's take a look over here. SIDU forming an ABCD pattern right over here. Shot up like a rocket. Massive price spike off the ABCD right there. So that's what we got going on for SIDU. SIDU shot up with a price spike off the ABCD pattern. All right, looks like it's also moving on low volume because the float is 35 million, volume is 13 million. Actually, no, now 15 million. Well, 16 now, but it shot like a rocket upwards. So that is schmexy, ladies and gentlemen. That is the schmexiness right there. That is schmexy. So, Sidu is looking schmexy to me right down. There we go. So, currently moving above over here. Looking nice, looking good, looking good, looking good. Moving down a little bit because it is a bit overbought on the RSI. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Bop right here. Bop right there. All right. Currently up 56%. Currently up 56% and climbing. Has to hold above $1.71. Break through $1.82 for it to be really schmexy to me. Right now it's kind of starting to consolidate a little bit. Needs to keep climbing. Needs to keep climbing. Needs to keep that momentum. Needs more volume, of course. Needs more volume, but yes, it is moving and grooving and grooving and moving right now. So there we go. That's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on for this stock right here. SIDU. On the uptrend. Off low volume. Looking good right there, though. Looking very good. Looking very good. Needs to continue to stay upward. It is kind of fighting. It's forming a bit of a doji right now. So, wait. It's still climbing. There we go. Can it break above? Yes, it can. It peaked above the high of day. Peaked above the high of day. There we go. Peaked above that high of day to 56%. All right. Continuing to keep climbing. It's still just climbing its way on up right now. Fighting its way on up right now. Can it keep going? Can it keep going? Needs to break that $1.83 mark. Needs to break 183. 183 for it to be schmexy to me. Oh my, 58%. There we go. It's continuing to keep climbing right now. It's just climbing and climbing right now, breaking through new highs like it's nobody's business. Once again, 60% now. 60%. There we go. Just testing those high days, man, and breaking through at 61%. There we go. 61%. Look at it go right there. A little bit extended, but that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. 62%. Keeps breaking through the highs, man. Wow. 63%. Oh, my. CDU up 63%. CDU. Yes, SIDU up 63%. It's breaking through the high of day like crazy. It's just breaking through that high of day. Needs to break above $1.89, and it does. $1. Well, it is above. You mean $2? $2. Yes, $2. $2. 191, 191, 191. Yep. 193, 193. Yep. Whoop. That's the sound of money. Whoop. That's the sound of parabolic. Whoop. That's the sound of money. Yes. Yep. We sounded like those little Muppets from Sesame Street. Yep. Yep. Oh, computer. All right. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit because it is a bit overbought in the RSI, but it did have a nice run though. It did have a nice run. Sidu. SIGU. Sidu. Whoop. That's the sound of the parabolic. Whoop. That's the sound of money. Whoop. That's the sound of the parabolic. Whoop. That's the sound of money. And right now, it's got a volume that went from 15 million to 24 million. Float is still 35 million, so it is still below the float, but it is climbing up with that volume. So we got that going on right there. It looks like it looks pretty schmexy right now. It needs to break through this little top tail over here. We don't like the top tails. We like the bottom tails. We like the bottom tails. Tail. Yesh. And it looks like it's trying to test it. It could either form a double top right here. Could either be forming a double top right here, or it could break through that and break through the high of day. That's the sound of the parabolic. Whoop. The sound of money. Yesh. All right. So That's what we got going on for right now. For this stock over here, it could also be potentially, and I hope not, potentially, it could be possibly maybe forming a head and shoulders. There's a shoulder right here, a head over here. All right. Hopefully it does not form a shoulder, but we don't know. We don't know yet. So as of now, SIDU did have an ABCD pattern. Needs to break above the resistance because it is falling down below it. It is a bit overbought. So right now it's kind of just, going back down to compensate for being overbought on the RSI and extended. But SIDU extended. SIDU, can it continue to challenge the high of day? Let's see. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see how HXHX is going. HXHX is still above the VWAPA, but needs to break above the pennant over MIA. Needs to break above the pennant right over MIA, ladies and gentlemen. HXHX needs to break above the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy. Not break above the VWAPA. Needs to break above the pennant. The pennant, not the VWAPA. The pennant. Pennant needs to break above the pennant for it to be so much schmexy to MIA. Right? That's what it needs to do right now. Let's get a share party going, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 400. Let's get to 400, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 400 right there. Let's get to 400. Yeesh. All right. Let's get the 400. 400. AZI climbing up a little bit. But not really. It is still on that descending wedge right there. It needs to break above the descending wedge and break above the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to MIA. That's what we need right there. So, AZI needs to break above the descending wedge and the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to MIA. Bop right there. That's what we got going on. Let's take a look at VMAR. VMAR was moving up a little bit earlier at 4 o'clock in the morning, but as of now, currently had a move upward right over here. Boom, boom, boom. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D once again. And then formed a bit of a descending wedge over here, fell below the VWAP, climbed its way back up above the VWAP slightly, and then basically just made another pennant right there. So needs to break the pennant and needs to break the VWAP. Has some unconfirmed Q4 earnings due in 11 days on Friday, January 2nd, just before the market opens. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. But as of now, VMAR needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be so much schmexy to MIA. Boom, right there. That's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. All right. So SIDU seems to be moving back up a little bit, trying to curl its way back up a little bit, but it's not fully there yet. Needs to break that double top right there. Needs to break that double top point right there. All right. SIDU, CDU. SIDU needs to break the double top for it to be so much schmexy to MIA. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. What else we got? CMCT. All right. CMCT still needs to break that pennant. Still needs to stay above the VWAP. CMCT needs to hold above the VWAPA and break the pennant. ADEA. Let's see how ADEA is doing. Gapped up a little bit right there. Gapped its way on up. It was above the VWAP. Kind of fell below it just a little bit. Needs to break above this descending wedge and the VWAP over here. ADEA needs to break above the VWAP and the descending wedge over here for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Boop, right there. All right, HYMC. How's HYMC doing? It is consolidated just above the VWAP right here. A little bit of consolidation. Let's get some channels over here. It's channel time. It's channel time right there. All right, bop and bop right there. Boom, boom, and boom. All right, so HYMC is consolidated above the VWAPA, needs to break the channel for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. HYMC, very heavy float, very light volume. Float is 60 million. Volume is 369,000. So you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. HYMC consolidated above the VWAP, needs to break that channel though for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 500, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now, let's get to 500. Let's take a look at some other stonks here. Let's take a look at some requests because I got some requests over here. Boom, right here. Give me 1 second. Need to get some water. 1 second. All right. All right. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Okay. Had to just get some water in me, ladies and gentlemen. Had to get some water in me. Let me take a look at the requests over here. All right. Let's see here. Somebody requested a couple of stonks here. All right. Somebody requested ONDS. I don't think ONDS is really relevant anymore, but we'll check it out. ONDS just above the VWAP, kind of consolidated above the VWAP right there. ONDS consolidated above the VWAPA. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Not looking too schmexy. Let's take a look at some other stonks over here. Let me see. All right. All right. So, LUNR. Somebody requested LUNR over here. LUNR. Let's take a look at LUNR. Boom. Right there. Okay. So, LUNR currently is just below the pennant just below the VWAP right over here. Has a bit of a pennant that formed right over mya. Boom and boom right there. So, has a bit of a pennant that formed right over here just below the VWAPA. Had a nice shoot up here before dropping down, climbing back up, but then it kind of started getting a little choppy and then broke below the VWAP right there. So right now, LUNR is down 1.6%. 1.7% actually, I call it right there. So LUNR needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be so much schmexy to mya. There we go. HXHX, how's it doing? Still needs to break above that pennant. HXHX needs to break above the pennant right there. Still needs to do that. All right. All right. All right. So, Wheels asks, can you check out CMCT? Sure, we can check out CMCT again. CMCT still a little bit below the VWAP right there. A little bit below the VWAP. Still needs to break through that pennant right there. Needs to break through that pennant. Let's get some support and resistance lines for him. Let's get some support and resistance lines for you. All right. Support and resistance right there. Maybe a little bit more actually down here. Okay, so, excuse me, right there. Boop. Okay, so CMCT. CMCT as of now, just below the VWAPA. That's how it started. It would start off at 298 over here, 344, 380, 405, 430. Those are all your support lines. You have resistance at 462 and then 512. So we got that going on right there. So 430 has to stay above 430. Needs to break above 462 and then 512 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. But as of now, CMCT needs to really break that VWAP at 439 and then needs to start climbing its way on up, because right now, not looking too schmexy over here. Not looking too schmexy. Needs to stay above this support line of 430, break above the VWAP at 439, break above the resistance at 462, and then break above the resistance at 512 for it to really be somewhat schmexy to mya. So we'll see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600. Let's get to 600, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 600. CMCT. CMCT needs to break the VWAP and resistance lines. Yes, break through the resistance line. Oh, my God, I sound like Chancellor Palpatine or friggin' Darth Sidious. Yes, break above the resistance line. Yes, yes, break above the enemy resistance line. Yes, good. little bit of Star Wars humor, because I am a bit of a Star Wars nerd. So yeah, okay. Let's see about HYMC. HYMC, although the new movies were kind of booty, not gonna lie, but we got that going on right there. Let's take a look at HYMC. Broke above this lovely channel over here. Broke above the channel. Broke above it. That is good. It is up 20% right now. HYMC. HYMC broke above the channel. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Bop right there. Good. Good. Yeah. Okay. Goody gumdrops. Yes, sir. Let's get a share party going. Let's get above 700. 700. Let's get to 700. Let's get to 700, ladies and gentlemen. Alex asks for MNTC, or is that MNTS? I think he means MNTS. MNTS. Oh, okay. All right. So MNTS, very low volume, as you can tell right here by these little choppy, indecisive wicks, but it did have some consolidation over here. Climbed up a little bit, had some more consolidation with these low volume wicks over here. Slowly climbed up, shot up over here on a price spike, and then dropped back down. So it popped up, dropped back down. So it had this double top right over here, which is not schmexy to mya. Not looking schmexy to mya. So it needs to break above that little double top right there. Formed a bit of a double top. Let's get some support and resistance lines for it. Let's see what we got. What do we got going on? Okay. So you have support right now at $9.74. Has to break above $10.05. 1044 and 1107. That is what you need to break above right now. Currently, it is almost very close to falling below the VWAP as well. So MNTS needs some volume, needs a lot of volume. Let's take a look at the overview here. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 1.8 million. Volume is 192.5 thousand. So as of now, It's very, very low volume. The float is reasonable, but the volume is low. So it is a very low volume stock right there. Very low volume stock. Has to break above the $10.05 mark. Has to stay above 996, which is where the VWAP is. Has to stay above 974 as well, which is where the support line is. Has to break through 1005, 1044, and 1107 for it to really be so much maxi chumia. Also has to break above the $11 mark, which is where the double top is, around there. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. So MNTS needs to hold above the VWAP. MNTS needs volume to hold above the VWAP and break the support lines right here. Boom. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. All right. So now let's take a look at something else here. Let's take a look at something else. Let's take a look at ABVX. ABVX. 66 million float, 362,000 volume. Very low volume right there. Very low volume. Moved up on some low volume over here. Right over here, as you can see. Let's get the line over here. Bop. Moved up here. Right. Went back down a little bit and started to curl up right over here. Oop, right here. There we go. Boom. So, as of here, I'd even go so far as to say it probably made a bit of an awkward ABCD. Slightly, but it is still very low volume. It is above the VWAP as of now. 9 EMA is very much so a bit extended away from the VWAP. So we'd have to see what happens here. We'd have to see what happens. ABVX, ABVX. As of now, ABVX needs volume to stay above the VWAP and continue the uptrend, because it is on an uptrend, but it's on low volume, very low volume right there. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bit of a choppy uptrend too, so we got to be, in my opinion, this is one of those stocks that I'd probably be very, very weary of and very careful of, but considering the fact that it's a very low volume stock, so we'd have to see what happens there. So, yeah, let's take a look at HXHX. There we go. HXHX right here. Still above the VWAP. Still above the VWAP. Kind of curling above the VWAP. Needs to break 58 cents and then 66. Looks like it's trying to test the resistance line. So, HXHX bouncing off the VWAP slightly. Can it break resistance? Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let us see. Let us see. All right. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. Let's get 1,000. Yeah, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1,000. We're currently at 808. Let's get to 900. Then let's get to 1,000 right there. Let's see. UNF. Price spike over here. Drop down. Very low volume. You can tell just by looking at it. 12 million float, which is a bit heavy. Volume is 49,000. Has to break above the VWAP over here. Has a lot of indecisive wicks as well. So, this right here. Shot up like a rocket. Formed a bit of a pennant right here. Has some news that UniFirst shares are trading higher after the Wall Street Journal reported that Cintas submitted an offer to acquire the company. So this is an acquisition play. All right, so UNF acquisition play. price spike off low volume, needs to break the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. So UNF has that going on right there. That's what it's got going on right there. Let's take a look at some other stonks over here. AZI curling a little bit, curling off that pennant, off that descending wedge right there, bop right there. Looks like it's testing the VWAPA once again. It is testing the VWAPA. AZI curling off the descending wedge, needs to break the VWAPA. Yes. There we go. There we go. There we go. What else we got? What else we got? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right. SIDU. CDU. Let's see how CDU is doing.
Resistance at 186.
Yeah. Resistance at 186. Needs to break that, baby.
Break it.
Has a bit of a panic going on right over here. Bop right there. Bop right there. Has to break the pennant. Has resistance at 186. Needs to break that pennant. CDU. SIDU. Needs to break the resistance at and the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. CDU. All right.
It's pushing.
It's pushing. It's pushing. Slowly but surely.
It's trying to pump.
It's trying.
It's trying. Move, baby. Move it.
Come on.
Move
I like to move it. Move it.
Come on,
You
baby.
like to
Break
move
the
it. Move it.
resistance.
We
Break
like to move it.
Break it. Break it.
Come on now.
Break it.
Break through it.
Let's
Come
go.
on. Let's go.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Bottom tail.
Bottom tail.
Can we get a bottom tail? Here it goes, baby.
Ooh, come on.
Push it. Push it.
Push it to the limit. That's the side of the bottom of the leg. Come on, baby. Come on.
Come on, baby.
Let's go.
New higher day. Come on, baby.
Come on now.
Come on.
Come on now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tour. Trying to break above that pennant right now.
Let's go.
CDU trying to break the pennant. Mm-hmm.
It's pushing. Come on. 190,
Yes.
190, 190. Break it. Come on now. It's a heavier floated stock. That's why it's so slow.
It is a heavier floated stock.
Heavy fella.
It's 35 million. But I do have good news for it.
It's got news.
Oh, it does have news. Let me take a look at the news.
It's got like space news. Space news. Space.
All right, so has some news that CDU Space awarded a contract under the Missile Defense Agency's SHIELD IDIC program. All right. IDIC. And is one of the contract awardees under the Missile Defense Agency Scalable Homeland Innovative Enterprise Layered Defense, which has total IDIC ceiling. That IDIQ, I'll call it IDIQ. Ceiling of 151 million.
Come on. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Break above the pennant. That was an accident. Oopsie daisy. All right. Well, I mean, I read it properly. It's just, wow. I'm just immature. All right. CDU. All right. So, it's trying to test that pennant. PLT is asking for HXHX, so we'll take a look at HXHX. In the meantime, HXHX fell below the pennant right there. Currently now on a downtrend. Not looking too schmexy here. Not looking too schmexy. Needs to break the downtrend so far. Needs to break this downtrend right here for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So HXHX
It's pushing, it's pushing.
Yes.
Cedo.
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 Yes.
Cedo.
Cedo.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Gracious. Oh my gracious.
Yes.
Oh my gracious.
Yes.
Oh my gracious.
Yes. Oh my gracious.
Oh,
What happened?
Cedo.
New higher day. 68%. Oh, actually, let me check the percentage. Oh my. Wow. Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious. Broke above the pennant. Hit about, I believe, 69% right there. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of parabolic. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of money. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. So, SIDU, new high of day. Up 69 nice percent. Yes, sir. Ha ha. Nice. Anyways, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at Alex Martinez wants us to look at MNTS again. MNTS. All right. MNTS was low volume, still probably, I think still is, but it does have a pennant that is formed right over Mia, for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mia. So, we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Needs to break above the pennant right here. Needs to break above that pennant. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so let's see here. MNTS needs to break above the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mia, and also needs to break above that double top right there. PLT wants to see HXHX again. HXHX, once again, still on the downtrend, needs to break above the VWAP and needs to break that downtrend as well for it to really be so much maxi to Mia, but that's what we got going on with this stock so far. HXHX needs to break above the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mia. Currently, it is still moving downward. Has unconfirmed Q3 earnings due in 11 days from now onto January 2nd before the market opens. So that's what we got going on right there, folks. That is what we got going on. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you know it's Christmas week. I completely forgot. I'm not gonna lie. I was like busy with a bunch of other stuff, but I was like, I kind of like DVL Moms told me. By the way, it's the week of Christmas now. I'm like, oh my, it went that quick. Wow. So yeah. Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious, indeed. So I was surprised, but you know, I got gifts and stuff ready. Right, Wednesday is going to be Christmas Eve, I believe, and then Thursday is Christmas Day. I don't think the market's open on Christmas Day. As for Christmas Eve, I do not know. So I actually do want to check that real quick because I am kind of curious. Is the stock market open on? Because I want to make sure so that way we can like schedule everything properly on Christmas Eve. All right. Oh, okay. So it's a half day. Okay. All right. So the stock market will be open on Christmas Eve, but will close at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be a early day. It'll be an early day on Christmas Eve, right? And then Christmas Day it's closed, and then after that it resumes on the 26th. Okay, good. Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to cross my T's, dot my I's. All right. So as of now, that's what we got going on. So chances are good. Christmas Eve, you are going to be getting microcap mornings, and that's probably going to be it. We won't have a power play because there won't be any power hour. But we will have microcap mornings on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, you know, it's gonna be closed. So yeah, not gonna be much to do there, but we will have that going on right there. Just want to let you guys know. Want to keep it copacetic and transparent. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alex Martinez says, I believe it closes early, maybe 12. Yeah. It does. It does. 12 Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, that's what they got going on. Okay, good. I want to make sure. All right, SKK. Wanted to make sure here. Double topped right over here with SKK. Very low volume stock, 8 million float, 35,000 volume. Fell below the VWAP. Not looking too schmexy. Right now. SKK needs to break above the double top and the VWAP. It is currently very bearish, very choppy, moving downward. Not looking schmexy to me. Not looking good right there. Very low volume. Needs volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. SIDU. Sidu. Testing that higher day once again. Testing it once again. Testing. It is up 68%. All right. Can't break above. Let's see. Whoop. Let's see. Yeesh. All right. So, curled above the pennant right here. Curled above this pennant. Bop right there. Needs to test that high a day. SIDU broke above the pennant and is once again testing the high of day. Anybody see that meme where it's like what's that? It was like I forget the politician's name, but basically it's like a picture of a politician, and it's saying I am once again, and then it's like something underneath it. It's like I am once again, and then it's like saying something that is happening once again. Think of that meme with that politician, right? And it says I am once again testing the high a day, and that politician is SIDU. That is pretty much what I just think. The memes in the brain, yes, quite. Yep. So SIDU testing the high a day once again. Testing the high a day. Sidu. What do you do? What do you say? Yeesh. AZI. Still below the VWAP. It tried to curl up a little bit. Tested. Peaked above the VWAP and once again made a bit of a pennant right over meow. Bop. And bop right there. So, AZI needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. Let's take a look at UNF. Let's see how UNF is doing. Needs to still break that VWAP and still break that pennant right there. UNF still needs to break the pennant and the VWAP. There we go. Right there. All right. ADEA curling and trying to test, right? Curled off that descending wedge, needs to test the VWAP. ADEA curling above the descending wedge, testing the VWAPA. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, ladies and gentlemen. Early bird gets the cash. And ladies and gents, we have called quite a few wonderful stonks today that have been moving and grooving and moving. That's what we've been doing, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So yeah, be sure to check it out. Once you get in, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for that $9.99 trial for the first 4 days, you get access to these amazing charts right over here, the market movers over here, the scanner. You get access to this amazing newsroom over here, a wonderful community of indelibles, all of which want to help each other grow and grow on their own together as one big amazing community. They're amazing. It's a wonderful community, guys. Very good group of people. Very good group of folks. So you got that going on right there. You also get access to the ticker tape, and you also get access to a bunch of other good, amazing stuff. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, if you join the Wealth Builders, you get access to everything that's part of the real-time alerts and scanners package. Plus, you get access to exclusive Wealth Builders content, exclusive scripts that are from our videos. You could also get access to our amazing, wonderful, indelible patron. Actually, no, not that. You get access to Coach Nick Money and myself exclusively. You get exclusive access to our educational courses with over 400 plus videos and all that wonderful stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Be sure to check out the Wealth Builders package, and be sure to check out the Real-Time Alerts and Scanners package. Real-Time Alerts and Scanners is only $9.99 for the first 4 days, so you got that going on right there. So yeah, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. Let's take a look at the stonks. Let's take a look at the stonks some more. All right, let's take a look at SIDU, SIDU. Oh, SIDU. There we go. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, so as of now, SIDU basically shot up like a rocket just a little bit, broke through the high day once again till above 70%. I'd say 72. SIDU once again broke the high. SIDU broke the high of day once again. Up. Let's see. How high was that? I'd say about 74, 75%? 75% right there. Yep, 75%. Just confirmed it. 75%. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. So, yes. Up 75%. SIDU. Curled up 75%. Broke the high of day. Now, it is a bit overbought on the RSI. A little bit, but it can hold above 191. Breakthrough 208. Needs to do both of those things for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Actually, well, really schmexy to be honest. So that's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on. Let's see how HXHX is doing. HXHX, let's see how it's doing. All right, so HXHX, once again, is still on that downtrend. Still needs to break above the downtrend. Still needs to break above the VWAP. Still needs to do both of those things for it to really be so much schmexy to meow. HXHX still needs to break above the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow and break that down trend right there. Yes. Alex says CMCT curling. CMCT. There we go. Curling its way on up. There we are. All right. So CMCT curling off the pennant right there, curling up off the pennant right there, curling above it. There we go. CMCT curling above the pennant and testing resistance.
Needs volume.
Yes, needs volume for it to be so much schmexy to me. Float for CMCT is 861,000. Volume is 28 million. Needs to keep climbing though. Needs to break that resistance and needs to break above that and stay friends with the trend right there. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Let me stretch. Woo! Ooh! 10 minutes to the bell.
The bell.
Ooh! Right there.
The bell.
The bell. The bell. It deafens me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1,700. Let's get to 1,700, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. Let's get to 1,700, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 1,700. Yeesh.
1,700.
Yeesh.
Hyundai.
Yeesh, 1,700. Once again. Ooh. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. PLT once again likes to see HXHX. Let's take a look at HXHX. How's it doing? Let me refresh. See how HXHX is doing. Trying to curl above that descending wedge right there, which is good. That's good. That's good. HXHX curling above the descending wedge. Testing the VWAP too. Testing the VWAP. There we go. That's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So HXHX right now curling above the descending wedge. Testing the VWAP right now. Testing the VWAP. Can it break it? Can it break it? We shall see. Has unconfirmed Q3 earnings in 11 days on January 2nd. So we'll see what happens with HXHX. Trying to curl, though. Can it break above the VWAP? Can it break above the VWAP? Let's see. Let's see. All right. So got that going on right there. Let's check out SIDU. SIDU. All right. SIDU. Forming some red candles there. Makes sense. It is a bit overbought on the RSI.
It's gotta break $2.
Gotta break the $2.
$2.
Can it break the $2? Needs to break this little pennant right over here. Needs to break that pennant. Needs to break that. Actually, it'd be more of a descending wedge when you really think about it. So let me take a look over here.
Bop.
Bop right there.
Bop. I love when you say bop.
And bop. Yeah. Bop right there.
I like it.
SIDU. Very nice. Very nice. All right. SIDU needs to break the descending wedge over here for it to be so much mexy to me. All right. So that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. All right. So SIDU needs to break above that descending wedge. All right, let's see what else we got. AZI. AZI is still below the VWAP. Still needs to break that pennant. AZI still needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be so much mexy to me. All right, so we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. HXHX still curling off that descending wedge. the descending wedge. There we go. Still curling off that descending wedge. Let's see what else we got. CMCT curling up on a slight uptrend over here. Broke above the VWAP. CMCT broke above the VWAP on a slight uptrend. There we go. Let's take a look at what else we got. ADEA. Moving along the VWAP. Consolidated along the VWAP. ADEA. Consolidated along the VWAP. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,000. And that is on news that ADIA shares are trading higher after the company signed a long-term IP license with Disney and raised its 2025 outlook, by the way. So that's what they got going on. Let's take a look at VMAR. Unconfirmed Q4 earnings in 11 days from now on Friday, January 2nd, before the market opened. It is currently consolidated below the VWAP. Right there. So we got that going on right there. VMAR consolidated below the VWAP. Can it curl? Let's see. Yeesh, can it curl above? All right, let's see. HYMC. All right, so A to B, B to C, C to D. That's what we got going on so far. HYMC, price spike on an ABCD pattern. Low volume, heavy float. HYMC, price spike on low volume. So we got that going on. EQ, let's take a look at EQ. EQ, choppy. Very, very choppy. Not looking schmexy there. Low volume, EQ. Very choppy.
2 minutes to the bail.
And low volume. 2 minutes to the bail. The bail. EQ, very choppy and low volume. Low volume right there. Yeesh. The bail. All right, so there we go. Let's see here. So let's see here. Let's take a look at SIDU. See-do. Come on now. Trying to curl a little bit. Needs to hold above that 191 mark and break through that $2.08 mark. Needs to break through that $2.08 mark. So can it curl? SIDU, can it curl? Let's see. SIDU, can it curl? Yeesh. Let's see. See, trying to curl its way on up right there. CMCT. Let's see how it's doing. CMCT still on that uptrend. Slowly moving up. CMCT slowly moving upward. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. And then we got the bell. The bell. It go ringy dingy. It make the wee woo. Yes, sir. The bell. The bell. We got the bell. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the bell. What the bell got for us, ladies and gentlemen. What the bell got for us this time. Alright. Alrighty. Let's see here. Ooh. Alright. Alright, so. Right now, it is just above the VWAPA. It is just above the VWAPA. So, there we go. Alright. Has to stay above the VWAPA, which it's not doing right now. So CMCT needs volume to break above the VWAPA. Let's see what else we got. GITS came in. How's GITS? Let's see. GITS, very choppy, low volume, not looking schmexy. GITS needs volume for it to be so much schmexy to me. There we go. Let's take a look at SIDU. SIDU. There we go. All right, SIDU up. Yep, moving up once again. 82%, 83%, 84%. Broke through the high a day once again. SIDU. SIDU up 84%. 87%, excuse me, 87%. New high of day, baby. New high of day. Yes, sir. 87% right there. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. Very nice. Right there, your moms. It's very nice. Gotta say it with the accent, man. It's very nice. I like you. Well, I can't say that. It's nice.
But I do. She
do. Yes. SIDU, moving up off that descending wedge. SIDU, price spike off the descending wedge right there. Boom, right there. Bop. Ooh, right there. Ooh, stretching the back. Oh, Lord. Ooh. Oh, my. Ever get that good stretch in? It's just like the crick go up the back. It goes crick. Oh, you're like, that's the good stuff right there. My, oh my. Oh me, oh my. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2300. Let's get to 2300, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 2300. All right. HXHX moving. How's HX? Oh my! Curling above the VWAPA. It's curling above the VWAPA. Very nice. Look at it go. It's beautiful. It's testing the high. It's testing a resistance mark right there, breaking through it right there. So HXHX curling off the downtrend. Broke the VWAP and a resistance line. Yes, good. Break above the line. Good. Come on. Execute order 66. Come on. What? I can't do that? Can't execute order 66? No, not even once? Not even a little bit? No? Why are you looking at me like that, DBL Moms? I can't execute orders. But can a man not execute Order 66 in his own house? Wow. Fine. FJET, FJET, FJet. FJet moving up on low volume. Actually, I don't know what the float is because the float is not listed, but it is moving on up right now. FJet, FJet moving on up right now. Needs to remain friends with the trend. There we go. FJet moving. Moving. All right. So, starting to just chill and move its way on up. Moving on up to the big time. Moving on up to the deluxe apartment in the sky. Okay, let's take a look at HXHX. HXHX. There we go. Type stuff, type stuff. All right, forming a bit of a double top. Needs to break above that double top for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. But boom, 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 right there. HXHX needs to break that double top right there. All right. HXHX needs to break the double top for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. SIDU. 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 All right. SIDU still trying to climb. Still trying to curl its way back up there. SIDU bouncing off the support line. The support line. Yes. Like I said, execute Order 66. Yes, the conspiracy theories. DBL Nix is secretly Chancellor Palpatine. Yes, good. What? I can't have my own theories now? Ah, a little bit. I dabble. I dabble. I dabble in it. But yeah, no. I have done the voice acting before. Little trivia. I have done voice acting before. But yes. What? Palpatine's the best voice to do. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun saying all sorts of things as Palpatine. Yes, good. Let the darkness consume you. Lord Vader. Face the young Jedi. What? I can't even be a Sith Lord in my own house. Wow. Some people can't even let me be a Sith Lord. Wow. 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 I'm being bullied. Wow. All right, HYMC. HYMC as DBL Moms is bullying me. HYMC moving on that ABCD pattern. We called it on the ABCD pattern. HYMC moving up on that ABCD pattern, baby. There we go. Boom, right there. FJet, FJET, curling its way on up, shot up like a rocket, up 41%. FJet shooting up like a rocket right now. Shooting up like a rocket. Yes. All right. Hold on. HXHX is moving again. HXHX is moving again. Oh my, broke through that high day. Up to 69 cents, up 99%. Can it break 99%? Can it break? Yes, it can. 102%. Yes, sir. First bagger. It's a bagger. Baggernomics, PhD. 102% right there. There's 102% right there. Howdy. Yeah. All right. Right there. HXHX right there. Moving its way on up. Testing that high day once again. Up 102% right there. Yeah. HXHX up 102%. Yes, sir. Darn tootin'. HXHX. Yippee-ki-yay. Up 102%. Now execute order 66.
And now we're going down to Foghorn Leghorn. Yes.
Palpatine Foghorn Leghorn. Yes.
Please stop.
Boy, I say again, boy. I want you to execute that there order 66 now.
Oh, stop.
No. I do what I want. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. It's up what I. Oh my, 126% on HXHX. Oh my. Oh migration up 126%. HXHX up 126%, baby. New high of day. Ooh! Mamma mia! Pizzeria! Up 129%. Up 132%. Mamma mia! It's me, Mario. Up 132%. Yes, sir. I say again, boy. It's up 146% now. 146%. It is still climbing right now, boy. I say again, it's still climbing, boy.
Climbing.
If it ain't right, it's wrong, boy. Yes, sir. HXHX right there is up 146%. 146%. Breaking through the high once again. Breaking the high once again. Breaking the high once again. Oh my. Oh my goodness right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh migration. Oh migration. Oh my. Up 146% right there. I think it's halted there. I say again, I think it's halted right there. I says, boy, I think it's halted right there, boy. I think it's halted right there, boy. It got more screws loose than a Home Depot in an earthquake, boy. I said again. It got more screws loose than a Home Depot in an earthquake, boy. Make it make sense right there, Mel, boy. Yeah.
We'll try Pokey Pig next.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. That's too high pitched for me. That's too high pitched for me. Yeah, that's all, folks. Yeah, that one right there? No. All right, but, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, folks. Sharing is caring. Of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir, yes, sir. HXHX. But HXHX now is halted at 146% up. So that's what we got going on right there. So much love, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out on our YouTube at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming. We do lots of videos. We do lots of shorts. We do lots of stock reviews, stock analysis, etc., etc. Be sure to check all that stuff out and stay tuned over there. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell icon to make sure that no videos are missed and to stay apprised when new videos are uploaded. And also, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on X.com, a.k.a. Twitter, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money right there. So you can find us there. We do lots of live streaming there as well with some stock reviews and stock analysis. You can find us on Twitch at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. We do lots of live streaming there as well. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on TikTok, Tiki Taki, a.k.a. the Tac Tac The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks.
At
At DBLNICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. You have a wonderful day. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we got going on. That is what we got going on right there. So, yeah, much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day. And yeah, that's it. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Peace. Actually, wait. Hold on. I haven't done my outro yet.
Oh.
It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I love you. And I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot out the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go and to Wendy's. Other times she likes to steal my lo mein. Other times she likes to go around and steal my chow mein as well. Anything else that you've stolen?
I haven't stolen anything.
Communist. Anyway, we call her DVL Moms. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Much love.